In the headlines, renewed violence on the Plateau as assailants attack another community in Bokkos. Police launch manhunt for cop killers in Anambra. Volatility in oil prices leads to 10% loss as demand slows down. On the foreign scene, Kenyan police probe suspected killings on Del Monte pineapple farm. Oh, hello there and welcome to the news update. I am Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for joining us. Oh, hello there and welcome once again. We start this bulletin with security. In a distressing sequence of events, the Tangwe district in Bokkos local government area of Plateau State witnessed an attack on Thursday night, just days after armed groups launched assaults between Saturday evening and Tuesday morning in the same region. The Transition Committee chairman of Bokkos, Monday Kasa, reported that marauders targeted the community at night, resulting in the burning and destruction of homes. This time around, the timely intervention by security personnel prevented any recorded fatalities during the assault, as highlighted by Kasa. The Transition Committee chairman provided an update on the Christmas Day attack, maintaining that the number of casualties remains at 195, while ongoing rescue operations aim to locate missing persons. Meanwhile, the United Nations Human Rights Chief expressed deep alarm at the series of attacks on villages in central Nigeria, which resulted in nearly 200 deaths, according to local authorities. The attacks occurring in Plateau State underscore the persistent challenges arising from religious and ethnic tensions in the region. Also, police in Kano State have rescued 7 children kidnapped by suspected traffickers with the intention to sell them as domestic servants in the southern parts of the country. Addressing a news conference, the State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Hussaini Gumel, told reporters that 9 suspects were also arrested in Kano and Anambra State. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin must more on the details.
Ruth Yerima from Zongo quarters in Bauchi State believed to be responsible for trafficking these children, all of whom are from the same area in Bauchi, is now in custody. She says she normally delivers the children to a woman in Kano for onward conveyance to prospective buyers in southern part of the country.
I went to adoption home. That's where Abner Samuel is working. Yes, he gave me these children to give this woman that need adoption.
That's what she says. I'm giving her a children. I'm not giving her anything, sir. I don't have any orphanage home.
The question is, how did you get the children?
I didn't get any children and give her. She's lying over me.
I didn't do the adoption directly. I did not come to Kano. My sister, my junior sister, the same father, the same mother, she's the one that lives here. So she has a neighbor that has adopted 3 children. So when I told her that I need a child that I could call my own, she told me that her neighbor had adopted 3, that she will go to her to help her.
Young Muhammad Ilyasu is now renamed Chidiberi. Asia, who was renamed Chioma, and Hafizu, now called Uchenna, are among the 7 children rescued by the police.
Muhammad Bilyamun, abducted from Bauchi, renamed Chioma. Okay. This one with cap. His name is changed to Chioma. His name is Muhammad Bilyamun. But changed to Chioma. He was sold at the rate of 450,000. He was kept here in Sabangari, Kano by the abductor. The next person is Osman Adamu, age 8 years. He was abducted from Bauchi, also sold at 450,000 naira, and his name changed to Chibuki.
According to the police, the suspect usually sells their victim at between 300 and 400,000 naira per child, largely in the east.
In the area of tackling offenses around human trafficking, including the buying and selling of minors, The police command has conducted several intelligence-led operations through which the long-time cycle of interstate trafficking syndicate hibernating around Kano, Bauchi, Gombe, Lagos, Delta, Anambra, and Imo states was identified and dismantled. In this commitment, a total of 9 suspects were arrested, with 7 victims who are mostly minors being rescued from the clutches of these harrowing criminal activities.
While investigation into these child stealing and trafficking syndicate continues, these children have since been reunited with their parents, who would now have to struggle to integrate them back to their native language and culture. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Of course, we will now circle back to developments in Plateau State. We're joined by our reporter in the state, Ado Musa, who will be giving us updates. Welcome to the news updates. Ado, can you take us through the timeline of these recent attacks and tell us what you know so far?
Well, according to a councillor from Bokkos local government area, that yesterday men attacked a particular village called Bondel, where they burned down almost 8 houses. But it took the intervention of security personnel to chase them out of the community. But he said, even though when the attackers arrived in the community, the residents of that community had already fled to other places. But as soon as the security personnel got the information that there was such incident, they swiftly intervened and chased them out of the community.
Okay, Ado, previously, unfortunately, we saw what happened over the weekend in Bokkos as well as other communities around. However, it's seeming like more developments are coming from that story, especially with the one that rented, headlines today. With regards to 37 distress calls made out to the security agencies, yet there was no immediate response as to salvage the situation from Saturday until Tuesday. But we saw a swift reaction this time and this occasion. Perhaps, is it that the security agencies have now moved into these areas and then there's no longer the challenge of terrain like the DHQ had mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think this is one of the reasons why the security personnel swiftly reacted to the recent attack, because a lot of residents who spoke to me this morning confirmed to me that there have been a lot of deployment of security personnel around the Barikiladi Bokkos axis, especially people who are traveling from Barikiladi to Bokkos. There are a good number of security checkpoints which now inspect exit and then coming vehicles. So according to them, they say there have been a lot of security development in the community, and that is why the security were able to respond quickly before it gets out of hand.
All right, Ado, can you tell us what the mood is like in the state, especially in these areas, that had previously recorded these attacks? How are they so far?
Well, so far we can say that since normality has been restored, there is a little bit calm, because some of the residents confirmed to us again that following the visit by the state governor, who assured them that there will be more deployment of security personnel, that has given them the confidence that everything will be okay. And since the governor was there on Wednesday, he told them that, okay, he will make sure that everybody goes back to their own house. And he's also assuring them that he has already spoken with Mr. President, who also assured him that more deployment of security personnel will also be made. So I think with this development, the residents, particularly the victims of the recent attack, they begin to develop a kind of confidence that they will soon go back to their houses. So at the moment, I think the anger, you understand, is no more there like before. When the attack was launched, or even before the coming or the visit of the governor and Vice President Kashim Shettima to Bokkos local government area. So I think the visit has really played a significant role, because if not probably because of the visit, those people who were fleeing their villages to the headquarters of Bokkos. Possibly they have even started fleeing from Bokkos to other places again. But with this development, people are calm and they have started at least thinking that they will go back to their houses as soon as government implements such assurances that they have given during the visit.
Ado, thank you so much for the update. We do hope that normalcy is restored to those areas that were initially attacked, and we hope that they find a way to continue and pick the pieces of their lives. Thank you so much, Ado.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we've been speaking with Ado Musa, Trust television reporter, giving us update on the situation on the Plateau. Moving forward now, in a tragic turn of events, the lifeless body of an 8-year-old Ibrahim Muntaka Ibrahim was discovered near a riverbank in Zaria, Kaduna State after he went missing. The autistic boy had ventured out on an errand around 4 p.m. on Wednesday, December 27th, 2023, and tragically did not return. Confirming the distressing development, Mansir Hassan, a spokesperson for the Kaduna State Command, refuted rumors circulating about the removal of the boy's eyes and private parts. The police spokesperson says the boy's lifeless body was found along the Kwarindangoma riverbank, which borders Zaria and Sabongari local government area, on Thursday, December 28th. Dispelling further speculation, medical doctor Professor Aminu Muhammad Kutugi, who is married to the boy's aunt, rejected rumors of any missing body parts. Imam Muhammad Sani Abdurrahman, who conducted the ritual bathing of Ibrahim's corpse, attested that all organs, including his eyes and private parts, were intact before the funeral prayers. Also, the Anambra State Police Command has launched an intensive manhunt for armed insurgents who infiltrated from a neighboring state and killed 2 police personnel. The police public relations officer in Anambra State, Tochukwu Ikenga, who disclosed this in a statement on Friday, said the ugly event happened on Thursday. He said the gang, which disguised in military fatigue and seemed to be on a kidnap mission, but were jolted by the 2 armed police officers approaching their direction, opened fire on them. The police commissioner, who condoled with the families of the deceased officers, and Enugu State Police Command vowed that the personnel did not die in vain, as he urged all officers and men of the Anambra State Police Command to redouble their efforts and remain vigilant. And to development in politics now, the Ondo State Governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, on Thursday led a delegation of top government functionaries on a private condolence visit to Ibadan, the residence of his former boss, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, deceased. Speaking shortly after the meeting, which held behind closed doors, Governor Ayedatiwa described the demise of his former boss as a personal and national loss, stating that the late SAN was an accomplished Nigerian who had contributed in no small measure to national development. The governor said Akeredolu's departure would be greatly missed by not just well-meaning indigents of Ondo State, but indeed all Nigerians.
We are here, the government, under my leadership, government of Ondo State, on behalf of the good people of Ondo State, to pay a condolence visit to the immediate and extended family of our former governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, SCNCO, and who passed on yesterday in his private home here in Ibadan. Yes, we have to do this because he has always been our leader, a courageous one for that matter, one who has governed Ondo State in the last 6.5 to 7 years with great courage and with so many legacies that he has left behind. Today he's no more. We have to pay him that respect by coming to the family to condole with them, to commiserate with them. We pray that God will grant the families the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss, and for those of us that he has left behind, to be able to emulate some of the values, the sterling qualities that he's known for.
Still in politics, a Federal High Court Justice Donatus Okorowo in Abuja has prolonged the interim order preventing the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the People's Democratic Party from taking any actions against the 26 Rivers House of Assembly members who switched allegiance to the All Progressive Congress. This extension follows a request by counsel for the lawmakers, Steve Adehi, who represented the Rivers House of Assembly. Justice Okorowo, invoking Order 26, Rule 10 of the Federal High Court, emphasized the discretionary power of the court to grant such orders in the pursuit of justice. He expressed conviction in the arguments put forth by the lawmakers' counsel, deeming the order conducive to the interest of justice. The judge consequently deferred the hearing to January 24th. This development stems from the ex parte motion granted on December 15, initiated by the 26 lawmakers who transitioned from the PDP to the APC. The court's initial decision restrained INEC from conducting new elections to fill the seats of the 26 assembly members. Furthermore, it prohibited INEC, PDP, and the House of Assembly from declaring the seats vacant or withdrawing certificates of returns until the motion on notice is heard and determined. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Despite technological advancement in financial services, residents use traditional saving methods to boost local businesses. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with the news update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our major stories. Renewed violence on the Plateau as assailants attack another community in Bokkos. Police launch manhunt for cop killers in Anambra. And to more news now. Business owners in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital, have been lamenting the epileptic power supply in the capital during the festive season. They said the inability of the Port Harcourt distribution company to supply power even on Christmas Day left them with no choice than to resort to generating sets, which cost money to run due to the price of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol. Friday, Bimoboe Peter went round some business centers in the city to ascertain how businesses are coping with the lack of power supply. Here's this report.
For fashion designers, the power situation contributes to their inability to meet customers' deadline during the festive period due to the volume of work they have to deliver. They added that even maintaining the local iron is now costly because the price of kerosene or gas.
In this season, we need this light because I use it to work. So in this season, they're supposed to give all this lights constant. If there is no light, you go about buying fuel and your cost of your things will be cut down. You will not, the expectation will not be met because the money that you will charge now, because of there is no light, you bill your customer based on the fuel price and the cost of the fuel.
Gas I use, so I'm using gas. I was using kerosene. At a point, the kerosene became too costly, so I have to switch to gas. So as it stands now, I'm using gas to work. Though that one is more preferable than the kerosene because the kerosene, if you buy one rubber, within 2 days, it will just finish. And the kerosene is costly now, 550, 600, 500. So 2 days, 500. Is to compare to the charges of the work. Living there is light. You can't compare light with so I can use light freely anyhow I want, and the work will be more easier, more faster.
For hairstylist John Prosper, the epileptic power supply cost him at least 20,000 naira daily on fuel, adding that this has made him increase prices of services rendered. He, however, call on federal, state government and the Port Harcourt distribution company to address any issues that may have led to the poor power supply.
For me, it has affected me drastically. emotionally, physically, and mentally, it has affected me. For the record purpose, I don't even have time for Nigeria no more. I'm working on myself. The salon is functioning. We are buying fuel every day. 20,000 naira fuel every blessed day. That's what we do. I only pay because everyone is paying. I don't want to be the bad egg. You understand? And for them not to cut my wire, what I'm saying is that Nigerian government and anyone that is in charge of the power sector should try their best to give us this light. We cannot stay in darkness. How can a capital state or a capital city be in total darkness? It's not right and it's not proper.
They are hopeful that the blackout experience during the Christmas will not reoccur during the New Year celebration. Friday, Ebumobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
And still in the South, residents of Delta State have described the traditional savings scheme, popularly known in local parlance as Osusu, as beneficial to petty traders and medium-sized business operators. From Asaba, the Delta State capital, Jonathan Awanyai tells us more about this saving culture that has helped individuals to build up capital for their businesses and also achieve their goals. Here's this report.
The Osusu traditional savings scheme, which is popular in Nigeria's southeastern region, has transformed many petty traders to big-time business operators, as it is a good alternative for borrowing from financial institutions. Another popular type of Osusu is that in which a number of contributors decide to raise money for their members. They contribute an agreed amount on a monthly basis, which is given to members on rotational basis to enable the beneficiary embark on whatever project they decide to. Some residents who spoke with Trust TV said they have consistently been involved in the Osusu savings scheme, which they believe is more efficient than banks as the money is not easily accessible.
Most of the time, we get to the bank, they will say there is no money inside. That is why most of them don't like to go there. So as somebody like me, the stress in the bank, I don't like it. That is why I like to do so that when they pack it on, I can use it to do anything that I want to use it.
It is a very, very, very good and encouraging thing in the sense that one, it says interest. The interest from the banks, they are killing. Some banks, they will even lure you unknowingly into it, and you find out that you are paying continuously for some years.
I think when you get to bank now, they will tell you that they don't have money. But anytime you go to the Osusu people, they have the money to provide for you. Instead of you going to bank, you come back disappointed. So you do go to the Osusu people. They help you, at least very, very reliable. I like it.
They added that savings through the scheme had helped them to learn to prioritize and cut down on excessive spending. Others opine that contributing to the Osusu scheme is a faster and less stressful means of saving money, as they would rather sit in the convenience of their shops and have people come to collect their money and keep, rather than going to join a long queue in the bank. Jonathan Awai, Trust TV News, Asaba.
Well, there you have it, a report on the use of Osusu, a traditional means of saving money for businesses as well as other uses. Now in business, oil prices are set to end 2023 about 10% lower, the first annual decline in 2 years after geopolitical concerns, production cuts and global measures to rein in inflation triggered wild fluctuation in prices. Earlier on Friday, Brent crude futures were up 18 cents or 0.2% at 77.33 barrels. 77.33 dollars a barrel, while the U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures were trading 11 cents higher at $71.88 a barrel in early Asian trade. At these levels, both benchmarks are on track to close at the lowest year-end level since 2020, when the pandemic battered demand and sent prices nosediving. Oil is also on track to fall for the third straight month due to demand concerns outweighing the risks to supply for the Middle East conflict, and as production cuts have proved insufficient, the prop up prices, with the benchmarks declining nearly 20% from the highest level this year. And away from Nigeria, Kenyan authorities are investigating a suspected case of murder involving 4 men accused of trespassing on a Delmont pineapple farm, as confirmed by a regional commissioner on Thursday. The distressing incident began with the reported disappearance of the individuals last week. The unfolding investigation took a grim turn when 2 bodies were discovered on Sunday, followed by the recovery of 2 more in a river approximately 50 kilometers from Nairobi a day later. Relatives of the victims, speaking to local station Citizen TV, raised concerns about visible injuries on some of the bodies, hinting at possible beatings. Delmont, a prominent U.S. multinational specializing in fruits and vegetables, asserted through CCTV footage that the 4 men had attempted to steal pineapples from its farm. Notably, a joint investigation by The Guardian and the Bureau of Investigative Journalism in July implicated guards at another Delmont farm in an incident where 2 teenagers suspected of pineapple theft were allegedly run over. And this time in sport, the management of the Italian Serie A side, AC Milan, has opened a discussion with the Nigerian Football Federation over the release of the Super Eagles winger, Samuel Chukwueze. Super Eagles will resume camping in Abu Dhabi on the 1st of January, but Milan wants the speedy winger to play on the 30th of December and also in the Coppa Italia. According to the Italy football journal Pepe Di Stefano, the club wants Chukwueze to delay his movement until January the 3rd. The Super Eagles coach is expected to release his final list of players on the 3rd of January, as the competition will kick off on the 13th of the same month. It is yet to be seen if the NFF will agree to the demand of the San Siro giant. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. Do well to follow us across all of our social platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, documentaries and programs. I'm Sakir Ibrahim. Thanks for joining.